specific exercise, the app would organize into a workout routine. The program's intelligence was designed as an organizational and motivational tool. So this was our motivating challenge that we took on to build this application.
Mhm. All right. So next, this is just a problem in need. Alan, you want to do this or Zangu?
Yep. Throughout this project, we encountered many problems, such as ensuing we were able to maintain work momentum, understand the creative app process, and meet com- sorry, competition deadlines. One of our biggest challenges was finding the best application development software to develop this particular app. As a group, our most important goal was to make sure our app's ideas could be perfectly implemented. During the creation process, we realized that we also need more information about the application development software. As a result, we had to watch tutorials to learn how to use it. We also debated between using NativeScript and Ionic, but in the end, we went with NativeScript because of our familiarity with the uh, native script, and provide it also provides storage native to the devices as well.
Okay. So, the literature review. Basically, we just sort of went through a few different apps to kind of help us inspire us on how to make a fitness app. And we went through various fitness apps, like the ones kind of shown here. And what we noticed, we kind of looked at them and saw what worked with them and what didn't work. I remember we actually got a good amount of inspiration from the amount of apps that weren't very good, I found, and how we wanted an app that was able to specifically do this for us, while also at the same time not being something you had to pay for, because a lot of these apps, even if they are useful, you have to pay for them. And it just feels like they're hiding content for you that's not really that hard to create or put out there. So, yeah, this is sort of some of the ideas we got from that. Basic sort of time frame. I don't know if we really want to talk about this that much, but it. I would say if to just discuss it with you guys for a little bit, it's like Alan and I first started the idea with the design persona and like basically the general outline of the assignment plus a task hierarchy. And then we got busy for a little while, and then Kanav approached us, and he wanted to help out, and I presented the idea to him, and he loved it, and he had a lot of ideas to bring to the table, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
him in here too. And then from there, that's just sort of when the ball got rolling, and we each sort of divvied the strengths up based on, or the work up based on our strengths, where Kana was big behind the UI UX design and just a lot of prototyping and wireframing. Alan was a lot for the documentation and just organizing everything, getting a timeline, making sure we have all of our files in check. And then I helped with the wireframing and then developing the app through coding and with my experience in DataScript View and had to use Vuex as well. So yeah, that's sort of a general outline of how we got everything done. So I don't know if we want to get into this and read it. This is just an explanation of the app.
This is just an explanation of
Yeah.
the application background. So when I got into the team, I was hoping that I could add some graphics and make it look more attractive. So if we are professionally selling this application or putting it on App Store, we should have an application background. We had it. I made some changes. I made some graphics for it. And who will use the application? It's just the written format. We already added this in documentation. And it's the basic crux. What is the application, who will use it, and how can it be used? So it's basically that.
Yeah. All right.
So,
So yeah, if you want to talk about those for a bit, Alan.
yeah, I was thinking about create some specific kind of group of people who needs to be trained in this application. So the first one, uh, which is Aliyah. She is more professional than the rest of people. The Jacob is like a office worker who is so busy at works, so he cannot spend a lot of time on like the fitness training stuff. And Emma is a master's student. She has a lot of knowledges, but she never used those knowledges onto her fitness training program. So these three kinds of target people are gonna be focused in this application.
All right. So next, this is just the use case diagram. I don't know, not really too much to talk about here, other than just a basic
It's a basic side.
demonstration.
Yeah.
I think it speaks for itself. The task hierarchies. This year was just sort of like how we sort of went developing the app per se, and just the different stages it took to develop this first, getting sort of everything sorted out and idea. It took a little while, especially when Conov came, just to, really put the idea out there and formulate everything that we wanted it to do. And then once we sort of had all those concrete ideas written down, we turned it into a wireframe, made it into an app, so we were all on the same page.
Yes.
And then we wanted to take that and make two different types of prototypes. Obviously, the one in Figma, which would just help with the visual demonstration and was where a lot of the UI UX design was done. And then the NativeScript demonstration, NativeScript View to be precise. And that's just where we coded it and got it functioning. And focused less on the UI and more on just the functionality. So one was more UI and presentation, the other was back-end code and functionality. All right. Software engineering, these are basically all of those demonstrations I just talked about. So right over here, we have, this is the initial stuff that we did. Oh, yeah, this is the stuff that we did in Miro. So basically, yeah, no color, just straightforward, show all the different pages of the app and each of the different features. And sort of how that progressed over time. At first, we just sort of threw tools together and made sure everything connected before we actually made it look good. And then after that, we had the Figma demonstration, and that really helped with getting a proper design and just making sure all those paths were connected to each other. And then after that, I think the rest of these are just the Figma ones. And after that, we got into the code, and the coding was definitely complicated. There was numerous hurdles, to say the least, like trying to import card views to recreate the cards. The page navigation was something completely new that we hadn't done in any previous assignments. The toughest was trying to carry over data app-wide, because obviously anytime you want to add a new exercise or set, or even just change the value of a rep or weight or whatever, you have to change it for the entire set and make sure it saves across the entire app and not just is used on that page, and then when you leave the page, it's deleted. So it was using Vuex to help do that, and there's a lot of learning, but in the end, we did end up getting it done. So here's just a few screenshots of the app sort of in use. A lot of the UI UX design was ported over from the stuff that Conov made. And basically, as of right now, the app's functionality has two functions. It's supposed to be the create the workouts routines and then track your workouts using those workout routines you created. So add information as you're working out. In terms of the code, we only have the create routine, but that's entirely functional, and we have all of the elements required for basically doing the tracking. It's just unfortunately we had time restraints. So if we had more time, it would be very easy to go in and add the rest of the functionality. So, yes. Summary of future thinking. I'll quickly read over mine. I'm fairly happy with the final product, although the application is not complete and finished due to time constraints. The fact that we had a detailed wireframe, Figma prototype, and NativeScript prototype that demonstrate app-wide data storage, routing, and a variety of plugins and features is impressive. I believe that one of my biggest takeaways from this project is how important the planning process is to the proper development of the app. Normally, I'm the kind of person who likes to jump straight into coding without a plan. But this always ends up wasting my time, especially during like designing UI features, all that stuff. So having everything pre-planned from personas, task hierarchies, wireframes, prototypes, yada yada yada, it just like streamlined the process and made me be able to code without wasting time, and it basically made this a lot easier for myself. I wish I could have tested the app a little bit longer, just so I could know what features I would have been nicer to have if I were to have more time and continue on with this in the future. That's the only way I really know how to add a feature is just try it out, see what I like, see what I don't. So I think that's what would be my next objective, would just be to test the app in practice. Also, unfortunately, finish what we couldn't finish in the first place. And then just in the future, I would like to add a statistics tracker, display graphs of body weight and like the amount of reps or weight that you've increased during over the time. And then just like a website link to educate users on different exercises. So, all right, that's you, kind of.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read mine, and that's basically, I'm really happy that I was able to be part of such a great assignment that ended up helping me with create some fantastic work on some software that I always wanted to try my hands on. I always wanted to grow as a user interface designer in my professional career, and this assignment gave me an opportunity to build something useful and helpful in the current scenario that we are living in. I thought the idea was great. The way Kyle portrayed the idea to me, and I was like right on. I wanted to make this application, make the UI, make the graphics. And when I heard the idea from my teammates about this application, I was pretty sure at the moment that I could use my skills as a graphic designer and UI designer to its best of its ability. I also believe that even though the application was not completely finished from the development end, the high fidelity prototyping in Figma was able to show all the screens working in the application, and I believe that was a good thing. I also provide a link which shows the full working application in the Figma, which gives the full idea that was taken into consideration while building the application from the black and white wireframes. And I believe that Kyle has also provided a full tutorial video of the application works, and I think it's pretty good. It has followed all the things that we wanted to create and all the functionalities. In the future, I agree with my teammate Kyle that we hope to test the app for a while and add more and more features. It is always difficult to predict what an app needs before it's tested. I personally believe that it was a great team effort.
All right, and then finally,
I'm just gonna read it.
yeah, go ahead.
Very interesting making an application for people in this pandemic situation. So I was very happy to make an application that could actually help someone. The majority of work I did in the documentation, it was not easy at first due to the high amount of work from Kyle and kind of works. So I have to keep tracks of where they were track exactly the part of the work they have already done. I could not document the progress without knowing which part of the assignment was done. For example, the circular diagram, I need a specific screenshot to copy it and paste it. The final result was satisfactory. However, I know I still need to work on my documentation skills, and I'm thankful to Kyle for helping me with the editing. If there is more time for me to finish this project, I would add more features such as adding a body health tracking system, diet measurement system example, um, etc. Sorry, the final project of this work will looks much better, just like one of the professional software selling on the market. Yeah,
all right, awesome. And so this is just a quick go through of each of our contributions. I would sit and talk about it, but I think it's just pretty straightforward. So
yeah,
and then this is just all the code references and yeah, application references. Just like I said, some of the apps that we got inspiration from. And then I think that is it. All right. Well, I'll put us back on the screen, I guess, for this very like ending portion. Well, that's about it. So
Yeah.
for listening to our presentation, and we
Sure.
hope you enjoy the app that we've made and our idea as a whole and everything we've presented. So,
Sure.
you have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.